First one's from Luke Johnson.
Terron, 2 years in a row now, Tampa's had the #1 rush defense in the NFL statistically. Y'all ran the ball pretty well against them last time. So I guess what do they do so well that makes it tough? And then what did y'all find success with the last time y'all played?
Schematically, they have a really good plan on how to defend the run. Very gap sound, disciplined defense, and they got the personnel to get the job done as well. So we got to be a concentrated effort to continue to create lanes in the run game, be extremely physical up front, get the job done, and execute our game plan.
Next one's from Amos Morale.
Yeah, you kind of touched on what I was going to ask, but you mentioned the concentrated effort. In a game where you're going against the top run defense in the league, how do you measure the success? I mean, obviously with the yards, but is there any other way you say, all right, we're executing what we're trying to do, even if the numbers don't show?
Yeah. Just try to get our job done individually, and then collectively get have a successful play, successful run, and it'll take all 11 to get it done. Like I said, those guys have the personnel to have that, to be statistically the #1 run defense. So it won't be an easy task by no stretch, but I think we'll be able to get it done.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
When you're playing a team for the third time, are there things you can do with your sets or your technique to just kind of give them a different look and maybe try to offset that familiarity that you guys have with one another?
Not so much. Not so much. I mean, not necessarily with technique. If anything, it'd be I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's hard to say. I mean, we 18 games in now. Our identity is such. So it's about execution, preparation, going out there playing hard, physical, and find a way to win.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Terron, what's the most competitive you've seen Drew Brees off the football field? Is he tried to beat you in something that he shouldn't be trying to beat you at, like basketball? Like that?
If anything turns into a competition by any stretch of imagination with Drew, it's like that. It's like 100%. No matter if it's rock, paper, scissors, ping pong. We've had some ping pong matches that has gotten pretty intense. Sweating, I beat him. I felt like he wasn't talking to me for a couple of days after. It's real. He's an extremely competitive dude.
Do you feel like that? I mean, obviously Drew does a lot of stuff to have his career go into 20 years now, but do you feel like that plays a part of it? Just like when you're so competitive that you can't turn it off, and that's why he's still in the league 20 years later?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the main components of his makeup, his competitiveness, him getting up to that level to win, to compete. That's a huge part of who he is.
Next one's from Doug Mouton.
Have you taken any time this week to think about the big picture of this game? Meaning, this is the NFL's headline game this week. I mean, if you're going to watch one game this weekend across the NFL, this is the one, the Brady Brees, the whole thing. Have you thought about sort of the history and the bigness of this one? How much do you enjoy being part of that?
No, we try not to. I mean, me personally, I don't really get into the storylines. It's all about winning on Sunday, and once you're in the game, you have no idea who's watching. I don't think we're focusing on, are we on Nickelodeon, are we on Fox, CBS, anything like that. So I don't really get into the storylines much. Still understand the magnitude though. It's the playoffs, and we all fighting for one goal, so it's extremely important. But no, we're just trying to focus on getting that W Sunday, however it comes.
Next one's from Mike Triplett.
Terron, what do you think Sean Payton has done really well this year, just navigating, unprecedented kinds of hurdles on and off the field that even he hadn't encountered before in his first 15 seasons?
Coach. I think he's been an excellent coach, putting everyone in position to be successful. The coaching staff, the players, making sure our development is on point whenever we've had mishaps. Being prepared for all type of situations that come up. I think he's done an extremely good job of just being a great head coach.
I know you don't really have any other situations to compare it to in the NFL, but is there sort of a sense that you notice in the locker room of this team knowing, that the coach and the coaching staff is prepared for hurdles and can handle the things that come up based on their longevity and experience?
Yeah, I mean, the uniqueness of this season, never having this experience before, but knowing Sean and the way that he likes to, he don't leave any box unchecked. So just knowing him and that's how he prepares. He's a guy that'll go back and watch a play from 20 years ago if he feel like it's a possibility it'll come up. So just knowing him, this is kind of like it kind of feeds into his makeup, a season like this with so many unknowns and being able to adjust, midstream adjust, not making any excuses, just go about your business.
Next one's from Jane Slater.
I wanted to go back to, you were talking about Drew Brees. I enjoyed one of the stories that Ryan Ramczyk gave yesterday about kind of his first interaction with him when he messed up a play and Brees basically bit his head off and then walked over to him after practice and said, "I got your back, I'm here for you." Do you have one of those experiences with Drew where you've kind of been on the other side of that fiery intensity and then you walk off the field and, at the end of the day, your teammate? In other words, like, when he does walk away from the game, what stories do you share with family and friends that stands out about Drew and one of those interactions?
Yeah, I've had a ton of interactions with him. Drew was never, like me personally, he's never like, I haven't had that kind of like what Ramczyk had. I haven't had that come up, but it could be anything with Drew. Like if I was to tell somebody about like my experience with him, it would probably be the ping pong matches we had, or shooting a basketball, or it's like literally anything that turns into a game is much more than a game for him, like instantly, and you see it in his focus. A couple years ago we would be throwing darts, offense versus defense, and when Drew was going, it's like, bro, you are way too serious, and that's just how he is. That's just how he is about everything. And I haven't seen one of his like flag football games that he's coaching, but I guarantee he is the loudest, the super intense. The kids might be afraid of him, but that's him. That's him.
What's the one thing he's not good at? I mean, we saw Tom Brady isn't great at golf, which I think a lot of us felt good about. But what is the one thing that Brees maybe isn't as good at?
That's tough. That'd be the hard part about competing with him, because he's like legit good at everything. So that's tough. No, I don't know. I know he's not the fastest, so I'll say that. So I won't pick Drew in a 100-meter dash. I'll say that.
Next one's from Captain Terrell.
Hey, Terron, I was wondering if you ever went to any of those get-togethers that Curtis Johnson had at his house after games the last few years, and if so, how do you think that kind of helped the team bond, or at least the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I haven't been, which sucks, because CJ, that's my guy. That's my guy. But I always joke about him because he lives on the West Bank. I just feel like that's so far from Kenner. That's like a trip. If I want to go to CJ's house, I got to gas up, I got to get snacks, and I haven't made that commitment yet to do it. But that's my guy, and I will get over to my guy's house.
But you did score an invitation, though, right? Because I've heard some people. I heard it's a very exclusive invitation at this point.
Oh yeah. I've been invited. I'm in the cool guys club.
No, I feel ya. Luke will tell you whenever I have to go to West Bank, I'm like, just too far away.
That's a trip. It's a whole trip.
Thanks.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, I can see Luke's face, and he is not here for the West Bank hate. But back to actual question. Several of your teammates, Coach Payton, they've all kind of said that, you know, just knowing that the team that you are and the team that Tampa is, that playing in the playoffs was something that was almost expected. Do you necessarily agree with that?
I mean, not that we would be matched up again, but you know that good teams separate themselves during the season. You kind of know who the playoff teams are about midway, so definitely a possibility. Pretty early.
Last one's from Luke Johnson.
Okay, first, West Bank is great. You should come over here
I
sometime.
believe you, bro. I believe
I'm telling
you.
you, but it's not that far. It's not that far. Second of all, look, you brought up Drew's ping pong game a couple times here. I just want to know, like, what's his go-to shot?
See, he's all forehand though, all power, no finesse, no spin, nothing. You know, he got the tennis background, and he tell you he beat, top dog back in the day. He give you all this little history and try to intimidate you, whatever. That don't work. But power, he get into that forehand game, you're in trouble. Like if you have no shot to get him out of that power, you are in trouble.
Thanks.
No problem.